Good morning, everyone, and welcome you all to our AABN's 212th weekly webinar. It's heartwarming to see a happy bunch of participants on a Sunday morning. Welcome to you all for responding to our call and being here. Over the past 4 years and 10 months, we have been able to put together online programs to keep our AABN community not just engaged, but also meet a range of inspiring people who can help shape your ideas and thoughts. Today, we have one such personality, Mr. Joseph Julian, a respected wellness consultant. I extend a very warm welcome to you, sir, for coming here and willing to impart your expertise to our AABN community. Hope today proves to be a very fruitful day to all present today. In this fast-paced, overworked and chronically stressed world, there is an increasing desire to live a more purposeful, fulfilling and joyous life. This is evident in the growing number of people and businesses turning towards transformational life, health and wellness in their attainment of meaning, growth and change. In the recent times, we have noticed a collective shift towards more holistic approaches in achieving a healthier and happier mindset and lifestyle. People want more than they ever have before, more love, career options, a deeper relationship, vibrant health and greater financial freedom to truly enjoy this precious life more fully. Youth are a major force for sustainable development goals and key agents for social change, economic growth, and technological innovation. From calling for urgent climate change, climate action to tackling inequalities and gender biases, young people are driving the decade of action for the sustainable development goals forward. India, the world's youngest nation, is on the cusp of a transformative journey. With 68% of its population under 35 years old, India boasts a vibrant and determined youth who are ready to shape their own future. Our Prime Minister aptly captured the spirit when he said that nation now does not need to look back. Today, India's youth are at the forefront of global innovation, contributing approximately 43% of the world's population. Their willpower, creativity, courage, and determination make them a potent force capable of addressing global challenges and building a more equitable, just, and peaceful world. They serve as torchbearers for values, awareness, action, and advocacy. We got an awesome speaker with fresh perspectives on empowered youth, thriving future, wellness for a changing world to address us today. Let me extend a very warm welcome to our eminent guest speaker, Mr. Joseph Julian, to this interactive networking session. It will take a good part of today if we have to run you through all the achievements of this illustrious wellness consultant at SRM University, Tamil Nadu, Anna Gauri Medical College, Andhra Pradesh, Anna Medical College, Mauritius, and CAB member for ICMR NIRT. His commitment to helping others navigate life challenges has made him a respected figure in the world of wellness. With over a decade of experience in the education industry across India and abroad, Joseph Julian specialized in wellness consultancy, counseling, and therapy. He designed and implemented holistic wellness programs, particularly for medical students, focusing on mental well-being, lifestyle balance, and adaptation support. As a seasoned wellness coach, Joseph Julian blends therapeutic insight with practical strategies to foster resilience, emotional intelligence, and personal growth in academic and professional settings. His commitment to social impact has earned international recognition. His innovative low-cost sanitation project encouraging girl students' strength by providing better sanitation in government schools and was selected as a finalist for the World Bank Development Marketplace Award in Washington, D.C. Joseph Julian is a lifelong learner and is continuously updating his knowledge and skills to stay at the forefront of his chosen field. Before I wind up, let me once again extend a very warm welcome to all and reiterate that our AABN's floors are always open to those who might want to strengthen our work with the suggestions. I also wish to place on record our deep commitment to work tirelessly with the team to carry forward our goals in a constructive, gratifying way. Thank you, and over to you, Mr. Julian Joseph.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Audible, sir.
So, good morning to all of you. First, I would extend my gratitude to the ABN for inviting me and sharing my views about wellness and the youth empowerment and how today people are facing problems under the wellness. So I'm really honored. So thank you so much for inviting me and having me here. And I need to say sorry for the people who have been, disturbing their Sunday morning and like sitting and talking about. I hope it's a very nice topic to discuss today. So I'm sorry to putting it up across on a Sunday morning where somebody might be busy with their families, which is actually wellness is all about. So anyway, we will make it interesting. So people who are with families also are like, interesting to know these topics. So, shall I just share you a presentation which I have?
You can, sir. You can.
I've sent you a request, I guess.
No, you're already a co-host, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, PS, 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 can you make Mr. Julian a co-host?
So until the presentation is coming up, can I have a small discussion on what is this wellness and how youth had actually having problems and facing the future right now. Like, see, I would like to take back my life by 10 years, and I just see when the COVID was happening. At that time, uh, I had an idea of starting a wellness clinic for the patients who were affected by COVID and who are highly diabetic and who have some movement problems. So initially, what I thought like we'll start a wellness clinic, basically having this in mind. And then what happened since I'm working for a university. The students had come back post COVID, and when the students had come back, we found a total different way of approach from the students towards the management, towards the parents, towards themselves. And at SRM University, we were very closely watching these children, and we felt that this wellness clinic has to become a wellness center so that we can address these issues like children who have got this a social problem, connectivity. Maybe they would have lost a member in the family and they don't know how to approach their friends again, or they would have lost somebody in a far relative, or they would have lost their own friend. So mentally, earlier COVID, the only problem the youth had was to fight with obesity. We were talking about child obesity and obesity in the schools and stuff like that. But once this COVID hit, we found out more than physical problems, we actually have more of mental health issues. Like none of us were locked down for 2 years in our house or something like that. So it was always like, when is the next announcement? Is when it is going to happen? When it is going to happen? So uh, it was like that. So it was not comfortable for these youngsters to place themselves somewhere, to believe in their dreams, because you don't even know whether tomorrow you're going to be alive. So this complete uh, this feeling of isolation and all those things built so much of pressure for them. This is what we found out at SRM when these children came back after COVID. And as we discussed, we moved slowly from uh, we moved from from a wellness clinic to a wellness center. And once we moved it to a wellness center, we found, these children are getting more towards counseling and, and less of exercise and more of, group counseling and having more friends. It was more of isolation, which they were fighting with. So we came out with a concept of like, we had three concepts. One was, uh, the one concept was we took the idea from the Crorepati. One concept was 50-50. That is, we encourage children at the wellness center to do 50% yoga and 50% functional fitness. Because some guys would say like, I mean, the girls would say like, I would like to do yoga. The guys might say they, we prefer, we would like to go to the gym. So we divided, but we ensured that before that, how we identified them was we approached the clinical psychology team of SRM University, and we got the perceived scale, stress scale questionnaire done. And then we had circulated the complete questionnaire to about 25-30,000 students in our university. And then we got the feedback. So based on that, we identified children and we had it more participatory. Like we will not just pick them up separately. We will just bring them with some healthy people. And like, it's like the old saying says, like, if how to heal a healthy, a wounded dog is very simple. Put the dog with the healthy dogs. As they run, they immediately they turn healthy. So that's something similar we do. We create more events, and then we started doing this. So I'm just telling the evolution, which right now we have about 20 centers there in SRM. So how we actually tried to empower these people to fight was the change on whatever COVID. So then as the COVID gets better, like things started getting like, more of emotional support. The wellness center was giving more of emotional support for the students. And then, so can I share my slides?
Yeah, you sure can.
You can.
Is it visible, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I will just run through the stuff since you already heard some. Just, so basically, I was just trying to, put this in a very nutshell. Like today, we need young youth to be more to lead than to adapt the situation. Like, but right now after COVID, it is like more of if you are like healthy, everything is okay kind of a situation is going on. So we thought like, it's just the idea right now the youth need is like to lead and give them the tools to lead the whole thing. In United Nations earlier, they used to define like if you're doing well, they used to say like, if you're doing well is like being out of illness is wellness is what it was the idea about it before 2003. If you're just out of illness, then you're doing well. Okay. So, but later after 2003, the United Nations has coined it, unless a person, an individual person is contributing something to the society, then it is not like he's doing well. So today youth has to be trained. It's not like, just to keep away from illness, but to be somewhere useful where they can contribute something to the society. So that's what the whole thing is required right now. And I am just sharing the road, the path, what we came across past 10 years in SRM, in, starting up from a wellness clinic and then evolving to a wellness center and stuff like that. So going on to the next slide. So as I was sharing with you, like, the problems we were understanding through questionnaires, what and all problems they were actually having on a daily basis, like, how basically, like, they wanted this post lockdown. They're socially challenging for many students. It really is challenging because there is a stigma. Somebody in the family passed away. There's 100 reasons. So socially, it was very, very challenging for them to come back to college and start their work and get going on it. and then prolonged isolations, as you all know, and then social reintegration. It was all like and even the guy who was disciplined, this lockdown has taken him to a different point, like where he cannot go to the gym, or he can't go to exercise, he can't get into public gatherings. So this this was like very traumatic for a lot of individuals during at that time, is what we found out through the questionnaires, various questionnaires, that what the youth was actually going through. And then, as we all know, I've been humbled to put many institutions. In fact, really a very few institutions like SRM. Other than that, I don't remember. I can't count many, but few maybe there out of my knowledge in South. Nobody had prioritized this mental health support for the students at that COVID time. It was very, very few institutions which were like coming up with some support. And that is exactly the time when we were like evolving with a wellness clinic, and wanted to extend the support to the other people, like more than patients, to students. And basically, what were the areas of problems we found exactly through our surveys with all these numbers of thousands, tens and thousands of students, was there was a huge fluctuation in their weight, and their mental and emotional health was like very bad, and their difficulty in concentrating things, and the fear of illness and grief was like really great. And there was no proactive approaches from anybody from that institution to give them some support, like counseling or listening to one to one, or get something. So we found out that there is a vacuum here, which needs to be addressed on a very, very quick pace. So, and again, cultural sensitivity. Like, see, since I'm working in different countries, I get to meet different country students and living in same roof and stuff like that. So there is a lot during this COVID time. There was a lot of like lot of cultural sensitivity happening around the students. Like so what we very, very, very clearly did is like we created programs where we included everybody, and we gave them support, and like we gave them language support, and we gave all the support needed, so that that particular cultural sensitivity was like it's not like they form groups to each other and they fight with each other. So those areas were put into the main focus, because we could find out a very specific group were like trying to create a problem, and then how we had to go and sort it out. So we just thought this was one of the very, very important issue which we had to deal when we are doing an inclusive program, like I will let you know about the programs. And then how did we try to get get to the students? So now we understood that this is the kind of students we got. Around 15 to 20% of the students out of 70, 60,000 students, we have about 20,000, 20%, 25% students who are slightly they're not feeling comfortable about the whole thing. So what kind of ideas we can lead? So we looked up, okay, we started constructing what areas, what which we can help them to come out of this. So first we found out that by identifying their purpose, which will give them an inner strength. So we started deriving the whole wellness center on identifying the purpose. So this might look very yogic, and but a lot of answers. I don't know. We get a lot of answers from them only. So we just found out that we can identify their purpose, so that if we can help them to identify their purpose and help them to align their life and inspire others by following their purpose. So that was the only idea we thought we will do through the wellness center. And then after deriving the idea of a wellness center, where we thought we'll give counseling and exercise, which we will see in the next slides. So once we identify, okay, fine, this is our thing we need to do. What we did, we went up to the management. From wellness clinic, we went with the proposal saying that we would like to set up integrated campus where we have all the students come and get together and play, and we need infrastructure, and we need faculty support from this clinical psychologists, from the community medicine, from in fact all the departments, to participate, to form a group of wellness ambassadors and take it to the hostel students on the first level. So then this happened. So we have the complete, we had the complete infrastructure support from the management. It was so kind. We've right now we've got about 25 to 30 wellness centers and about 15 to 20 psychologists internally, and we have community medicine. And we have, so many. We have almost all the doctors to our access who are being associated with the wellness center in the whole SRM group. So as I told you, like we introduced the program through the wellness centers that 50% of yoga sessions and movement breaks, or as you want to do functional fitness or whatever. Then we extended our counseling services as an individual, as a group therapy, like phone a friend. Like, we have a telephone number which is anonymous, and these phones have been randomly connected to the counselors who are not working in SRM. So the children are very comfortable. So both don't know who they are talking to. So we have connected that to a phone a friend. And then we have this lot of meditational, and we have got this large screen TV at the wellness center in all the hostels. So we have got this meditation, yoga, and all these people who are like, we have subscribed to. Students have got access. They take an audience poll. Okay, this week we are going to do yoga for this batch. So whoever gets the maximum crowd will continue with their yoga sessions. So then we try to fix their food by introducing a diet cafe where where we have more of vegetable juices and stuff like that. And then we started giving them in their phone the application of their bedtime reminders and all those things. We facilitated to them through an app, and we just help them out how to download it and use it, so they can track how long they're sleeping on a day. And even we track their digital screen time also, which I'll talk about it later, and how that has been we help them out to come out of this digital thing also by tracking uh, their digital time. And then this is our wellness center, one of the wellness centers. So here we do the physical test. This is like immediately after Corona, but it is now continuing on a on a weekly, monthly sessions. We have turns and people come and test there, because we have the medical college in the campus. So we facilitate our medical doctors to come to the university and help with all the other treatments whichever is required. And see, these are the counselors and nutritionists who our students got directly access to, and they can ask their doubts on nutrition or Ayurveda or psychological problems, anything. They can just call these people immediately, and they can get access to them. So basically, we tried basically we tried just see the three basic things which we wanted to focus on is to see whether they're getting a nutrition, balanced nutrition, and they're having movement, and then their sleep is consistent. See, this actually is another word to handle resilience of a person. So when we can fix these three things, we believe that they can be productive to the society. And we also came out, since we have this Institute of Hotel Management with SRF, we have asked the chefs to make healthy diet for the for the hostel food, and and for the canteen snacks. And we called it as a diet cafe, as I told you. And we started implementing those kind of clean eating and eat right program inside the campus, so their nutrition levels are in perfect condition. So so we basically, this is another slide telling that how, as I explained to you in the initially, like how we started this. Like for initially we started with counseling, and then we had this wellness, all this, we integrated the wellness with the the academic calendar. We put the wellness calendar, we collaborated them together, and then I will let you know how we did that. And then we have we had all the center heads, leads and ambassadors and all those things we formed. And then as a group, now we are now SRM is like a group. We've taken this baby, and we are trying to do the best with it. So as I was telling you about the resilience, this is what we do, seeing these three areas, like, so that they are physically and emotionally and mentally strong. And they, when these things are strong, only they get their social connection done, and then they're ready for the society. So these are the, see, these are all exclusively how we start from the clinic to the center, and how we went. So these are the students who have, like, who's got some kind of problem. So this is how we do this, this resilience training. So we talk about strong relationships, we talk about meaning and purpose, and we talk about calm and control, adaptability, and we ask them to have questionnaires, skit plays, and all those things. We will encourage all these things with the children who has got, who would like to be different from others. So we just try to do these programs for them, and so that they are more focused in their future. And then now, as I told you, we fixed the food, we fixed the we fixed their social connections, and now this is the wellness center, how it is in every evening around 30-20 centers in SRM functions like this. These are the girls hostels, and we have the boys also following us. So we've got we find identify passionate uh, faculties who would like to extend their extend their art of doing yoga or reading a book or whatever. We identify them, and we put them actually into the wellness ambassador forum, and we identify when they are available. And so if somebody would like to teach yoga, then we identify the person from, and they will give them special access to the hostel between 6 and 8. Students will be circulated with WhatsApp groups that we have an instructor who's going to teach yoga, and those people would come there, and, like, they share among themselves. And then if it's some basic courses, this madam will teach just 1 or 2 3 courses to them, and then she will transcend it to the other person. So this is how we identify people and give them responsibility. One person takes the attendance, and it's usually a strength of about 150 to 200 students. We have around 30 to 35 people coming into the center, and I strongly believe it's because the space constraint. If the center is bigger, definitely we will have more students coming into the center. And as far as center is concerned, it's got a drawing board, it's got a carom board, you name anything. Like, even I went to the extent to buy a puppy and leave there, but management was not agreeing because they might have some virus. Anyways, so I strongly believe, like, there should be a butterfly garden, so that these children are, like, really after they are all these problems which I came to know through the questionnaires, what is going in their head, they deserve to have a small confined space to at least to find out, to identify themselves, who they are, what. And this only would empower them, because right now they have been clouded with so many things which they couldn't decide between urgent and important things, and they are so clouded with so many other ideas which has been enforced on them because of this lockdown isolation. And some has lost their education, family. So this was like one of the changing times where we felt we really empowered these children. And another very important thing is, like, finding the balance and get the world connected. So what we believe is, like, digital technology cannot, we've been, right now we are using it, at least I guess, for a little useful purpose, and other than just scrolling through Instagram. So maybe that also, maybe it all depends on the person. So we can't even comment on these stuff. So we found out, like, by introducing, instead of just pulling out a device from a person, we identified we can pull out the app with the alternate app which could be interesting for them. By knowing their purpose, giving them links and books, audio books and video books on their link as links, where they can slowly, if just the screen time and the light which they want to see, they can read audiobooks, they can read books, and they can listen to audiobooks and then go to sleep, and in their favorite thing. So we tried a lot of other things, applications, mind relaxing games. We had the engineering department fix a mind relaxing game. So we gave that on the app mobile phones, and then we found, something was happening. That was happening. There was, but since it was not happening in the fullest, I would feel like, it was happening, but there was no taboo. Nobody felt hesitant to come inside the center. They were all very sweet. They were all very participatory. Every festival was celebrated. Of course, the birthdays they don't love, but otherwise, every festival is celebrated in their own fashion. It might be Christmas, or it must be Diwali or Onam. Wellness centers are being the most celebrated places of SRM right now. So we can see that what is the reason, actually, like, why we, as we said, we do these workshops, and we also started doing teaching them how to memorize their subjects, because medical students are like, I don't want to be judgmental, but it's a tough subject. And we also had this open mic, and where everybody is come and let to talk, these all these children are like, they really want to be at the center. So everybody get to talk about their passion. They are allowed to talk about what they want to do in life, everything whatever they want to speak out to the people. We give them a mic and we give the center for them to come up and talk. So all this is like, it's in the mind of the person, because they just to help them to be socially connected with the whole thing. So, and then we the biggest achievement which we would really take is that merging the wellness calendar to the academic calendar. It was my long-term dream. See, right now we have achieved that. So we have created a beautiful wellness calendar, and we have clearly merged it, like with mindfulness, that it reaches to every student. About yoga, it reaches to every single student in their time frames, and we have created a beautiful calendar, and we have given it to them. So now SRM is like, following a beautiful wellness calendar merged with their academic calendar, immaterial courses, colleges everywhere in Qatar, which is like amazing. And then now, since all these wellness centers were glowing like lit, so the faculties were felt left out. So what started doing, started doing faculty wellness program. It's slowly going away from our youth empowerment, but still, the faculties came forward, to participate in events and keep the whole thing lit. And so we had a faculty wellness center also, where and then we slowly actually merged both, where the student and the faculty were like playing caroms, and it was a very beautiful thing to see. So that also happened in the process. And we didn't stop here. Then what we did, I started visiting colleges, and I asked them to do the same thing, because I am it's a nice idea. So I just thought, if we can do this in all the colleges, it would be great. So I started visiting colleges. So as as you all know, what will happen next. I was given, then I went to the community, going to the government schools. Why only to SRM students? They're already rich guys. So why only to them? Let's take it to the community. And I took one of my best friend, a yoga instructor, and I went reached out to the community, because SRM also adopts a couple of colleges, and like, I'm sorry, a couple of villages. We got access to that. So I had gone to there to college, government schools, and I actually help them, like, what can be done. And then I gave them some small sessions, playful sessions, dancing sessions, and some yoga poses. They enjoyed it. So we extended to the community too. And then we identified we need wellness leaders. See, now every center has to be accountable with somebody. So what the whole idea of wellness, what I was like to propose to SRM is, we are not hiring anybody for this project. It's just, we will be integrating people, and we will be doing this, and this will be self-run. And as the people leave, the new people will keep coming in, and we will not have anybody employed to do something. So we need volunteers. And how we can identify volunteers is offering them a skill training. Maybe if somebody is interested to dance, and we can teach that girl dance from we have a dance clubs in our own college. So we teach them dance. So they take hold of one hostel center where they live in, and they take responsibility of the attendance and all those things. So like that, we started identifying wellness leaders, and the response was overwhelming. We had so many children coming to become, because everybody had some skill which they wanted to share with the others. So we got the whole thing, like, uh, fixed about taking care of the identifying the wellness leaders, youth, so when this topic just came by, I was thinking that I can share this journey of mine. This is just a 10-year journey of mine, where right now I honestly get calls from the doctors. who are at that time, were my students coming to the wellness center, and they still have so much of gratitude. It gives me so much of good feel that really we have empowered these people by identifying their purpose to themselves and providing some small skill sets, whatever we had to share. And then now they are pretty successful doctors across the globe. And I think it's a very sweet thing to happen. And then these were all the people who insisted me to put their pictures on my presentation. So as a conclusion, like, in the whole journey, whatever I felt like, uh, the resilience, the foundation of resilience, growth, and leadership in this changing world, it's really only wellness can do this whole thing. Only wellness, your overall well. But again, to be very precise, that you've been useful for somebody, and for that, right now, we need, the real supportive ecosystems for all the institutions. My dream is to get the whole thing to the whole country through government schools and everything, because it should not be only the people who can afford can get access to these services. So I wish this presentation was of some use, and I will be very, very happy to receive some questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Wonderful session. We'll keep the floor open for question and answers now. Participants, you may please unmute and ask your questions, please.
Julian, could you please close the PPT?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. One more thing I want to add to that. Mr. Julian Joseph is part of Indian Council of Medical Research. He's a member of the Community Advisory Board. And last year, Tuberculosis Day, so he had a wonderful session for the patients at the sanatorium Tambar, where he brought the students to perform with various emotions that prevents a patient to enroll into the government register for tuberculosis. That means to identify the stigma, and made them to feel that it's preventing them from coming to the hospital. And they themselves realized and came forward these are things. That was very useful for the researchers to identify and make the program in such a way that how to approach the patients.
Yes.
That was a wonderful session. So it is not wellness means last week we talked about mental health, physical health, environmental health, and animal health. And I'm adding occupational health also. We'll invite somebody from occupational health in future. So these are all combined together. It's wellness. Depends on now. Maybe Julian will be having, or he is a corporate trainer basically, and might be having exposure on occupational health and wellness also. So it is since our group has got a mixture of business community and academic researchers and practitioners and on various fields. Please feel free to check the channels and the possibilities of making collaborations and network and try to introduce a new concept, which is last week someone, I think Muthukumar sir was insisting that we must sensitize the youth. That's the only way how we can fight against the climate change. Then this is a very good channel. So please feel free to come out with your views and ideas so that AABN can sponsor or maybe a tool or channel in introducing this in some of the institutions. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Maybe Professor Vishwanath, you can start.
Yeah. Ramkumar sir, SRK.
Gopi?
Yeah, please go on.
Fantastic
Thank you.
speech, Julian. Really timely, I will say.
Thank you so much.
One question I want to ask. SRM does a lot of placements.
Yes.
And is there any weightage given on for wellness in those placements? Because when companies groom future CEOs and executives, I think health and wellness.
Okay, very interesting question which you asked me.
Yeah,
A really very
well,
interesting
yeah.
question. So what has happened right now after this wellness thing picked up on? There are a lot of other institutions who were like calling me as a consultant to come and work for them and set up similar thing what I have done for SRM in their university. That is where I'm working, one in Mauritius and one in Puttur in Andhra Pradesh. So what I can see is there is a regulatory authorities for this organizations, especially our university like SRM University, Satyabama, all these people has got regulatory authorities like NAC for medical. They have NMC, things like that. You must be aware of all these things. So last year for NAC accreditation, which is like once in 5 years and something like that, they had they have showcased our wellness things and all the activities and all the research papers we have done and all those things. And NAC team was actually very, very, very interested in this thing. It was they were like really surprised that they would really would like to offer some credit score only for this particular wellness activity we did. So now then what happened now the management focus also has started slowly focusing like sir, we are just one particle over there, sir. It is a big organization. So so they are like now the management focus is like, okay, whoever brought it inside, let us do it in a big way. So they are like emphasizing more on this. So once now they are investing like more like diet cafes, like big cafes. So now eventually I can see in this changing world now, since we have made the government organizations look into this, regulatory authorities looking into this, I eventually maybe in a very short period I wish the employees, the placement organizations also will start looking into this. Because as you see today, the top CEOs, everybody is very, very healthy, sir. We earlier 20 years back, if we can identify a person who is wealthy by his size, but now if you see like Mr. Sundar Pichai and Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, they're all like models. So they're transcending the correct message. The only thing is they will start very soon looking for the people of similar kind of wellness inside them, because now only they are accepting it. Now eventually they will transcend it to the other people. Yes, I wish.
That's fantastic. I hope it happens as soon as possible. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, so Dr. Kadresan.
Yes, youth power is
Yes, sir.
mightier than any other power on the earth.
Yes, sir.
Youth are not careless, they are careless. Youth are not useless, they are useless. The youth power should be channelized for the national building activities. And recently I read a paper saying that the happiness is more in a company, the productivity is greater. And another research study says that among the professionals, teachers are more happier than any other professionals because they are always interacting with the youth. And according to the United Nations Happiness Index 2024, the rank of India is extremely poor, 126th rank out of 143 countries. All our neighboring countries, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Pakistan, they are all happier than India. So I think this happiness or wellness is need of the hour. Need of the hour. I think in UP or somewhere, there is a separate ministry for happiness. Ministry for happiness. So similarly, we need a ministry for happiness. We should give more importance to the wellness or happiness. Happiness is very, very important. The American policy is in pursuit of happiness, in pursuit of happiness. The very purpose of life is happiness. See, we are all running after the happiness, but in the course of time, we lose all our happiness. And we are not able to laugh and cheerful. And as a result of which, we are getting all sorts of ailments. So at least we have to laugh for 15 minutes every day as soon as we get out of the bed. 15 minutes. So the laughter is very important. The wellness and the happiness is very, very important. The productivity of any company will be increased because of the happiness. So we need more emphasis on improving the happiness, for which, we have to conduct a lot of program. Hats off to Joseph for all your contributions. Do more for the happiness and well-being. Thank you.
Kumar sir. Kumar sir. Yata, any question from your side?
Vanakkam, I am Sadanandam from Karur.
Yeah, please go on.
Thanks for the arrangement and good lecture. Sir, how to send this information to the students from 10th onwards, 10th polytechnic colleges, arts college, all those students need this. That is what my request. If some small booklets or small PDF file or whatever it is, something would be useful. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Welcome.
Sir, no, actually, this is it's a wonderful question right now. This is what I'm trying to reach out, sir. Now, since I'm with all these associations and people, I feel that it has to first reach to the since I finished one school, sir. I have finished one college. I'm just talking about the modules. Okay, now what anybody will look from me. So I've created one college environment, I have created one school environment, I've created one corporate environment, not having any specific intention in mind. I just wanted to know, because if I'm able to do one, I should be able to do the other one also. So anyway, it is all involved with the same doctors and same psychologists and same fitness trainers and yoga instructors. So now I'm all ready to go to the government schools, because I strongly believe, from the grassroots only we should take any project. And here it so happened that SRM has identified it. So I'm working with the government with help of even Dr. Karigalan and Suresh Maria Selvam. I would like somebody to help me to take this to the government, and starting there, okay, I want to reach out to all the government schools, because they're very closely connected and we have large numbers. Instead of going to meeting at a principal in a VIP school, we can reach out to 500 government schools. Anyway, I don't think we are looking for anything else other than personal satisfaction right now. So we were looking for help to reach out to government schools. Meanwhile, we are right now connecting with all the psychologists, and like to form a group of people where they are accessible for students, yoga instructors, and all those things. It is taking some time, sir, but we wish we would get this through very soon to the schools also.
Oh, sure. Julian, one day I'll try to fix an appointment with the minister, education minister, and he is very particular about the government schools upliftment, students upliftment. What we'll do is we'll take maybe one block, 3 schools or 4 schools. There are schools which are highly, infrastructure setup is very good. Government schools itself. There are some schools which are very poor. So we have to balance both. Even last year we did from UNICEF, we did a study on climate change and human health. And we went to the government college. A lot of talents hidden over there. But see, for example, in Tirupur, we got a fantastic infrastructure over there, and got a hall and the cameras and projectors, everything. But the same thing, if you go to Kadalur, even though it is one of the oldest college, but still they find it very difficult to find the place, because it's one of the oldest colleges. There's no place. The infrastructure itself is make a big difference. The environment, infrastructure itself. So there are some balances we have to.
Accordingly, sir. Ultimately, the service will be reached them, sir.
Yeah.
Just service, one TV somewhere enough. they have access to the best of the services free.
Exactly.
Yoga,
So
whatever you want, I will give you free exclusively for you.
that's what I'm saying. This is the condition of the colleges. Now schools are concerned, but still the infrastructure is still low. What we have to do is we have to identify partner, CSR partner, maybe AABN can support or may identify somebody who can provide the basic tools what Julian was talking about, maybe a TV and maybe
Also,
something.
we can find somebody who will help us with one TV.
Exactly. So we can start with one block,
Yes.
and then we'll see, and then we'll have a review, and then we'll take them as an ambassadors.
Definitely.
Take it over.
Can
And
really make a change.
definitely, we'll make one of the days. I'll check with. In fact, our finance minister, honorable finance minister, is part of this group. He's
Oh.
our Annamala alumni.
Oh, lovely,
So,
lovely.
Gopi is their classmate, and they are very close family friend of us.
Yes.
So through him, we can approach the education ministry, and we'll take one block, and then we'll try to do it.
Thank you so much.
Good morning, Mr. Joseph.
Morning, madam.
Yes, I work in Nigeria in a private school for girls, and culturally, Nigerians are very, very similar to, like we are in India. I find a lot of similarities, which I never realized, before coming here. Working in a totally Nigerian school environment, all my colleagues are Nigerian, the only expatriate in this community. But amongst the private schools, exactly like what you said about the COVID period, it's from that time we realized that this mental health is something we need to take really seriously, because at that point of time, Nigeria came out of lockdown, like we went into lockdown on 25th of March or so, like every other country. And by the 4th of May, because they don't have palliatives, the government hardly did anything to help the people. So people had to get back to work. So lockdown was lifted on the 4th of May for adults going to work. So parents are largely leaving the children at home. And we are a secondary school for girls. And we had a lot of children reaching out to us because we had like office hours. We kept our school open online, almost like it was 24/7 kind of a thing. And, children were allowed to reach out to us. We had this online learning management system. And the kind of things that children were telling us that were happening at home with their parents, we found that a lot of this, especially in adolescence, a lot of mental health issues also stem from what is going on at home. And it now carries on into adult life. So
Yes,
in our school, we are focusing a lot on mental wellness. And we have been prioritizing, we've been spreading the word amongst other schools, but we have like a group of private schools, we are very much invested in that. And but again, the parents, like even in India, I know that I see a lot of memes where the only mental health we needed was a slap from the mother. If I gave my child a slap, all her problems would be, when I was small, my parents would give me a slap and I would be fine for the rest of the day or whatever. People always thought that, mental health does not need to be taken seriously. It's just people are just being, needy. They want attention, and they don't know there is no resilience, there is no tenacity. And, we keep blaming the children for all of that. And but parents need to know that things have changed. Yes. Parents need to know that there is nobody at home now. If a child has a problem, you go and tell your mom. Even if your mom gives a slap, she's always there to give you a hug. Now you have a parent, you reach home before your parent does. And when the parent comes home, you tell the parent a problem. The parent will say, don't trouble me. And she will give the child a slap and then go to, the bedroom, and the child she's just living with the slap. And she does not know why she has been slapped, and she has nobody to speak with. So we find that a lot of problems we face in school is because of the parenting. And in our school, we have decided, we are having a future forward.
About my mother, ma'am.
Yes. And I'm also guilty of that with my children.
Why the shot came to my head only, I don't know.
My children tell me the same thing. You were always busy, Ma. And you just, we came to but yeah. So now, we are having this webinar called Future. Yeah. So I'm just like, how do you, are you able to do your work without pulling the parents in? Are the parents,
Yes, ma'am.
like,
Ma'am, I'll tell you how I do this, ma'am. I'll tell you very clearly. Ma'am, already we, for my ma'am, this is all is my belief. Okay, ma'am. I cannot impose this on anybody, ma'am. And I'm working, and it is working for me, ma'am. I'm putting it on practice. It is like to some level, it is working. Like what I strongly believe is, anybody is getting into some trouble, have got some kind of problem inside their head. Okay. Otherwise, you like when you're driving properly, if everything is okay, you will drive properly. You are absent-minded, or you are stressed out, or you are, your dopamine levels are low. Stuff like that means then obviously you'll make some mistakes. You'll lose the keys. You might lose your phone. So what I found out, like from these children, basically when what I was dealing with is hostel kids. Okay. So for me, it is like mostly 80% of the children whom I deal with are hostel kids from the age between 17 to 23 maybe. Okay. So this is the group. So everybody is coming from different parts of the country. So that is, they have a big problem. And the majority of the people who have got, you say like, if North Indians are higher in the hostel and South Indians are lower, that won't be a problem. If the other way also, it won't be a problem. But equal numbers, if this guys are 20 and this guys are 20, then that will be a problem. So that was one big problem we had while we had, that is like cultural sensitivity. That's what I was talking about, that we had to deal with. And then we found out by creating inclusive workshops, like this guy, 2 3 people together has to do this, because we cannot actually impose on somebody saying that you have a mental health problem. But by doing all these things, by making them participate in a lot of events, we get to connect with a lot of people, and which mentoring is always actually put in for. I mean, right now it's more academic based, but this is like they identify their own mentors. And today's world, they don't identify mentors. So like how we complain about them, they have a problem. They are saying like, sir, you tell me in this college, not, I don't want to mention the name of the college. So you tell me one person whom I can look up for as a mentor. I was like, no, actually no, right? Yeah, sir. What, sir? There's nobody I can take them as my mentor. So they have this vacuum and we have a vacuum over there. So we actually, in wellness center, as I told you, we make the faculties and the students come together and share. Basically, like I'm also here, a student of wellness center. I'm here. You're also a student of a wellness center. So they interact and they have heart-to-heart conversations. And over a period of 3 days or 1 week or 10 days, depending on the intensity, they get in together. But to a straight question, okay, what will you do to the student who burnt your college bus? What you will do to a student who has like literally has done something which is totally not tolerable for a college environment? How do you do this without involving the parents? So we have something called as resistance training. Resilience training is basically we take these children exclusively to our center for 30 days, and we it's like no suspension. They have to spend time at the wellness center. So basically, he will be with me morning 3 hours. Not with me, all the wellness ambassadors, morning 3 hours and evening 3 hours, working as a volunteer for 30 days at the wellness center. So as he keep asking the questions to other people to answer, basically he's supposed to go and fill up, survey forms from morning till evening to all the schools, all the college mates. So as he asked the questions, how many hours do you sleep? He asked a question to at least 100 people a day. Then he can't start thinking, how many hours do I sleep? Okay. Then again, he'll ask a question like, am I getting into any substance abuse? Are you getting into any substance abuse? He asked 100 people. They're all like, no, no, no. Then he start thinking like, okay, am I doing anything wrong? Why these questions are being imposed on me? So slowly we can see change, and it's got to the level where these children have become really leaders in the. So this is one way we did it. Then we gave responsibilities. Like the worst guy will become the wellness ambassador of that center, and I call him every half an hour to find out what is happening at the center. That also we did. Then we bind them with books. Like, we give them motivational books and we ask them to read a page and come. we will identify their interest. Based on that, we will do. But people who are really not tolerable, then they have to go through a session. And if that session, if we don't approve that they are, then they have to go for suspension, and then the parents has to be known, and things has to move on with that. I hope you get what I said.
Yeah, I just have one more thing to add to this. So, like, yes, I understand that your students are all in the hostel. They are, almost like you can call them the young adults. But like I said, this goes on. Like whatever they are going through in adolescence, it passes on. So what we are trying to do in our school is, like one of the thing we did this quite a lot. And we did two of these, which were very successful. So our senior students are a bit more grounded because the parents are bought in. But now the juniors, who are between the ages of 10 and 14, and then we have some new students. So we are having for the entire community, in fact, it's open for everybody. We have a future forward parenting, because parenting requirements have changed a lot in the past few years. And especially with the generation of this AI generation, who's using AI for every single thing. They want to use AI for their assignments. They don't want to, they think that AI can be their own intelligence. And, parents are finding it hard to cope with their children and hard to cope with their jobs. So we have this, like we are having this webinar on future forward parenting. One of my questions is, I would love you to be a speaker on that webinar. I will reach out to you through Mr. Gopi. I hope you will not mind that.
Not a problem. I'll be on.
Okay. I'll send you an invite. And then the second thing is, yes, students do come in with in a school setting. Let's say age of 10 to 16. How can you bring down this system that you have, created in the university? In, let's say SRM. It's a wonderful wellness community, and we want to do that in our schools, and then spread it over to other schools as well in Nigeria, let's say, to start with. So that's another thing.
I can also share with you a piece of information, ma'am. I'm coming to Mauritius every alternate month, ma'am. I work for a medical college there in Mauritius. So if you would like to come to Nigeria, I don't mind taking care of my travel. I can come and very well meet you, because it's not very far away from Mauritius.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. I'll definitely reach out to you, because it's something we are very, very passionate about.
You let me know, because I'm coming that far. I know it is not very far from Mauritius. I can come there to Nigeria.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Ma'am, before closing, I just want to check one thing, because most of the African countries, they have this Western style of living. So does that have any kind of impact on the day-to-day life of the students? Because African, they have their own anthropological practices, and this Western blend is also there. Do you think this has made a change in the basic African life of the students?
Thank you so much for that question. Yes, Nigerians as such, they are very, very rooted to their culture and traditions, and they're very respectful and courteous people. And what is happening is, yes, the parents, they see the effects of Western culture, especially after COVID, and everything is on social media, online access, everything is global. Anything which happens in every part of the world, the children are exposed to. And by and large, the internet space is very, very unregulated. And unless somebody is extremely careful or intentional, and, we have some parents who are like that. They have all kinds of apps on their children's devices, so they know what their children are doing all the time. But it's very difficult. So, parents are really concerned. So, like in our school, we give them very little access to the internet. And whenever it is given, yes, we do give them, because they can't be left behind. Yes, but it's extremely highly monitored. But we have day students and boarders. In the boarding house, everything is restricted and very well monitored. Children go home, and they have this problem. So we have more children in the boarding house, because parents understand the value of how the boarding ecosystem is and everything. But going back to your question, yes, parents are very much aware that the Western culture, they also they, got carried away by the Western, like, oh, they're all, but they are returning back to their roots. And you will be surprised to know that in schools like mine, most of the children are either British or American citizens, and they have grown up, where primary schooling is done in the UK or the US or wherever, and parents bring them back. Most of the students are brought back to Nigeria for secondary school education, because parents realize that adolescents, these Western countries don't deal with adolescents very well. There's a lot of gaps there. So they don't want them. They want, and even abroad, most of them are so intentional that they like their children to move amongst friends. They make friends with Nigerians. They make friends. Yes, they are global. They can work with anybody. But all their socialization, all their living traditions, everything is rooted in Nigerian culture. I was very surprised. I've been living in Nigeria for more than 30 years now, and I didn't have this insight until I came to work in a Nigerian environment, because earlier I was with the Indian school and I was completely blind to the Nigerian side of life, and we had so many misconceptions. But I really respect how some parents are so intentional. But then, a school like mine, it's a private school. You see that it cannot be a representation of Nigeria. But yes, the awareness is there, and I can definitely talk about our kind of parents. So we are able to also have a little bit of influence on them. But yes, by our CSR and other things, even private schools are trying to go into the government schools and talk to the children and pull them into this. There's a lot of work going on right now. We have a very vibrant generation of young people who want to impact the students who are out of school, and spread awareness of all these things about how staying rooted to your culture, where culture has meaning. And then there are some practices which are redundant. Yes, you have to discard them, but I believe that the future is very vibrant, but then a lot of work needs to be done. A lot of intentional, committed work needs to be done. I hope that answered a bit of your question.
Yes, of course, because I did my master's in international health and policy research studies in Denmark. Most of my classmates are from Africa, from data supported countries from Africa. So we have a network in Uganda and Tanzania, in many places. So as Julian rightly pointed out, if a network can be set up in Nigeria or Uganda or Tanzania, so entire west of Africa, we can think about these wellness clinics to be established.
And surprisingly, sir, I personally know about 5 to 6 people who are ready to visit a medical college in one of these countries.
Okay.
6 different people. They call me for consultancy, like, somebody who can be there and do that whole thing, start from finish. They're just asking over the phone only, like how many $1 million. So there is a lot of potential for this.
Yes.
So much of potential over there for all these people. A lot of people are interested in setting up medical colleges in Nigeria, and so many, Cape Town, so many places. I've been shocked. Like, I don't know why they want to do that.
Only thing is,
Adam said,
even
they are rooted in their country.
No, before you go further, only thing is, I'll tell you, our own SRM student who is now with DMS here, Dr. Arun Gangadhar, who was in Nigeria. He started his own clinic, but what the accusation is, the corruption level is very big. So that is where you get stuck at one point, that taking up, what do you say, ma'am? Is it right?
Yes, unfortunately, yes. But that is one of the focus, one of the things we focus on, about teaching children about, anti-corruption, and, getting them to believe in integrity, personal integrity, professional integrity, ethics, and all those things. But like I said, in the private schools, it all makes a lot of sense, because the children are not, the parents are not struggling to put food on the table. Whereas, in the larger community, many of these things that we are talking about may not make sense.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
the problem. That is the problem.
Yeah, that is where many of the projects it raised up, and then at one particular point it got stuck. That is where many of our
Yes.
even Chandrasekhar is there in the group now. He will be talking next week. He's his own batchmate. Dr. Arun was there for almost 7 years, and after 7 years he gave up and came back. So
Mhm.
a lot of projects and can be worked out in Africa. So rightly said, Julian's concept of wellness clinics. It's a need of the hour, but unfortunately because of this government mechanism, there are a lot of hard slopes are there. We have to cross across. Anyway, that's a good idea. Maybe I can also join if Julian is planning. What is it, Julian?
Yes, sir, for sure.
That will be fantastic. Fantastic. We'll reach out to you very soon.
Yeah, and then from there we can go to Uganda and Tanzania also. We have schools and classmates are there. We can visit them, and we
Sure,
can
sure.
see how a uniform model can be established in the
Absolutely,
schools.
sir. And
We
we
can
will
work it
be
out.
happy to do this thing for them, sir.
We'll do that. We'll do that.
More
We'll do that.
responsible it will be like, sir.
We'll do that. I think private schools will not have that problem. Only the government system we have to be little.
We will do, sir. We will do, sir. I've also got some people who are very desperate,
Yes,
but they
yes, yes.
are very corrupted. So I don't want to. I didn't want to reach out to them.
That's right. That's
Because they were so desperate for me to come to South Africa and
No,
start
once
with.
that's right. Oh, no, once the result is produced and the students become when they're ambassadors, naturally things will change.
Yes, sir.
Because whatever may be the corruption or whatever may be, they also looking somebody as somebody pointed out, other
Sure.
listeners are pointed out.
In the
Youth
college-
power, they are the national builders. And if we spoil them, then the country is going to have a big problem. So we have to be very careful in handling the youth, and they'll be also be considering that. Not a problem. We'll work it out. We'll work it out. Yeah, sure. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much for this opportunity to speak. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
I think some of the key members are today absent, maybe because of personal work. And Gobi sir. Hello, Gobi sir.
I can hear you, sir.
Yeah, some of our key members.
Yes,
I
sir.
think
Regular,
today-
yes, sir. Yeah.
Maybe some kind of. Anyway, they'll see the recording and they'll get back.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
give Julian's number so they can
Yeah,
keep in touch with him, and
Yeah, sure, sure.
we'll do that. Yeah.
Ramkumar, sir. I think we're done, sir. I think we're done, sir. Sir, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Julian. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so
Morning.
much. Thank you so much. It's a great honor. Thank you so much.
I will share
Sir,
Ms. Niyata's number to you, sir. I'll share you, sir, Ms. Niyata's number now.
So this,
Sorry, sir.
Thank you, Julian. Thank you so much for.
and if,
Thank you so much. Thanks, Suresh, sir. Thanks for,
sir, please let me know about that.
sir.
Sure. We'll do that. And thank you for the short notice I have to do you, and you kindly accepted. And
Definitely.
it is a pleasure to have you among us. Thank you very much.